Am I allowed to use your real name on here?
Carol, yeah.
Am I allowed to say you don't mind people knowing your name is Carol?
No, that's fine. It was really when I worked in the prison and the schools, but that's long gone. That's history now. And I've never changed it back because I think to change it back on Facebook would just confuse everybody. They know I'm Carol. Yeah, so to change it back. So, yeah, call me Carol.
Okay, thank you, Carol. Thank you so much for doing this. It's so very kind of you.
That's all right.
My people who watch me on my channel, a lot of them are like you. They like coincidence, so they're already tuned in with the idea of synchronicity having some meaning in life. Can I just ask you a bit about your background for coincidence and how it has affected you in your life, or what sort of meaning has it had for you before you had these strange experiences? Did you think anything of it as you were growing up? What did you think?
It was kind of, I was into adulthood before I even understood what synchronicity was all about. I mean, growing up, we did get coincidences happening in my life. But it wasn't until I did my counselling theory in 2000 that I understood what synchronicity was and the Jung theory behind that. And Jung interested me. Out of all the people I studied, I think he was the one that interested me the most. And I became more aware of these synchronicities happening in my life after that, more aware.
Did you ever start writing them down?
I have done on my phone. I have done, yeah. But the main one for me was the most recent one, I think, and that was probably just before I was reading your book, just before Christmas, the one I told you about when I was coming down the A12. The most meaningful one is probably that one. So my youngest daughter, she is, her partner's Scottish, Glaswegian, and she's very much drawn to all things Scottish. So you walk into a home and there's a big picture of a Highland cow, and some of her favourite bands are Scottish, and one of them was a band called, a little known band, but they've got a bit of a cult following, called Frightened Rabbit, and the lead singer was Scott Hutchison, because he's no longer, his brother was the drummer of the band. And his mother always said to Scott as a child, "You look like a frightened rabbit," because he'd suffered all his life with anxiety and depression. And I think it was about 2016, he went missing for a few days, and he was found, and unfortunately he'd taken his life. You look back at a lot of his song lyrics, it's as if he knew how it was going to end, and it's all very sad. And he left a couple of really poignant messages on social media just before he left. If anybody wants to look them up, just Google Scott Hutchison final message. It was something like, "I'm away now." That was his very last one, and something about it's not a given. Hug the ones you love. It's not a given, and that makes me so sad or angry or something. And then just after that, he googled "I'm away now," and then he went missing, and then they found him. Anyway, she's very much drawn to Scottish bands and Scottish music. And I've recently resurrected this old big country album, and the lead singer, Stuart Adams, was Scottish, and he had a drink problem, but he had been dry for 10 years, and he ended up in a hotel in Honolulu, I think.
Sorry about this, Carol, but we're going to have to rephrase that, otherwise we'll get kicked off YouTube. We're not allowed to use the S word. We have to say stupid things like he unalived himself, or he chose to end his life, something like that. We're not allowed to use the S word. You just get the video taken down. I know, I'm sorry about that. So would you mind just saying that bit again? So he was an alcoholic.
Yeah, he was an alcoholic. He had a problem with drink, and he chose to end his life. And and this was in a hotel room in Honolulu. Resurrected this album, and I was travelling home from Hertfordshire on the 27th of December. My husband was driving, and I'm messaging my younger daughter about this album and saying, I think you might like to listen to this. Do you remember Big Country? Because she was tiny when they were growing up. Yeah, I remember them. And I said, I think you might be interested in this album, because there's a lot of parallels between Scott and Stuart Adamson. So she said, yeah, I'll give it a listen. And then I've ended the conversation, the WhatsApp conversation, and we're travelling down the A12, Ray's driving, and as I've looked up, there was a car in front of me, and I kid you not, the number plate of this car was clearly X, like Kiss, Scott, space H, so X space Scott space H in front of me, and I was speechless. I went to tell my husband, he's very sceptical, and I couldn't get the words out, and I kind of composed myself, and sometime afterwards I managed to tell him.
No, I lost you, Carol. Carol, I've lost you. You've dropped off. What are the chances of that happening? Come on. No. Carol, you dropped off. Dropped off the Wi-Fi there.
Oh,
yeah, you
am
dropped
I back?
off. I didn't get. You got to the bit about you saw the number plate and then Ray, and Ray's a bit sceptical, and then you managed to tell him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So after I told him, even he said, "Well, that's a bit weird," you know. So yeah.
Even Ray said that's a bit weird. That is just like. Did it fill you with chills? Were you just sort of gripped with this impossible?
I find it quite comforting. Because I think it was. I do really believe it was Scott. Give me a kiss. I found it quite comforting. It happens for a reason. And I find it comforting because it tells me that there is something beyond all this. There is.
Higher intelligence at work putting you and that person driving that car in exactly that place at that time, for you to be able to see that and for you to be noticing it and paying attention, because not many people pay attention to something showing up, right?
And this is the whole thing. People say, oh, I don't believe in that. Oh, I don't believe that. And that's because they're closed, they're shut down. I've always said we're like little radio sets, and if you tune in, you receive. But if you don't tune in, you won't receive. So you've got to be aware of everything you see, you feel, you smell, you hear. And the way I think spirit contacts me a lot is through music. Because it's always been a big part of my life, always. I mean, I grew up under the guitar. My dad played the guitar. His brother, my uncle, played the guitar. I'd wake up to them playing the guitar in the morning, and when they weren't playing the guitar, they were playing records. So, you know, it was a very, very big part of my life.
And through song lyrics that you hear on the radio, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, all the time.
I know exactly. Lots. Without writing them down, this is the point, isn't it? To know, oh, hold on a minute, I jumped into the car just as I was thinking about my Auntie Anne, and then somebody on the radio is singing about an Auntie Anne. It's that, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot. And also things you read. You know, sometimes you're thinking about something and you'll see it written down. Things connected to it.
Yeah,
you've got to be prepared to be open. If you're closed, it won't happen.
No, because you've had some quite strange experiences as well, Carol, haven't you? I know there's a story particularly I'd quite like to hear, the one about, you know, the phone that was misplaced when you're in someone else's house. Would you mind telling that story? Have you got time to tell us that story?
Yeah, I was doing a bit of cleaning, and I was cleaning in a house where she was very young. She was in her 30s. She'd recently passed. And excuse me, that's my husband's phone going. Can you hear that?
I don't know that. What was you saying about music and being contacted?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Ray,
Yeah.
talking about you, mate. Somebody's calling. Somebody's picking up.
So, yeah. So anyway, I was in this house and I could often feel like I wasn't alone. One time I was in the bathroom, cleaning the bathroom, and quite often the husband would come home while I was cleaning, and I could hear downstairs movement. So I thought, oh, he's come home. I didn't think much of it. But I went out at some point to say something over the banisters, and I'm thinking, he's not home. So I could hear all this movement downstairs and he wasn't home. But at another time, I often got this feeling that I wasn't there on my own. Another time, I had my phone with me because I'm a lone worker in that house. And I'm in his bedroom and it went missing. His phone went missing. Where did I put the phone? And it worried me. I thought, it will turn up. It will turn up because nobody else has been here. And I've gone into the child's bedroom for the first time. I'd not entered that room. And she had a really big, heavy pair of curtains that were dangling on the floor, like trailing on the floor. And I've lifted these curtains up to hover underneath it, and my phone was underneath the curtains. I hadn't been in that room up until that point.
And you were the only person there.
And I did tell the woman who I was working for, and shortly after that, I left the job anyway. But she contacted me sometime after to say the woman that took my job over was also experiencing these things, and she was going to have a word with somebody at her church. She had a big faith, this woman, big Christian faith, and I think herself she was very sceptical, although she did take it on board, and she said, I'm going to have a word with somebody at my church. But this was after I left, the person that took over.
And she didn't notice it herself. It's strange, isn't it? Some people just don't sense the activity, do they?
Yeah, she didn't go in there as much as I did. I went in there regularly every week, but there was definitely something in that house. I think I think the wife felt a bit annoyed that there was another woman in the house, and I did actually have a word with her. I said, look, I'm here to help. I'm here to do a bit of finding and a bit of cleaning. I'm helping. That's all it is.
But you felt like she was sort of jealous of you, sort of as if she didn't want you there.
Yeah, she wanted to know who I was, I think, but I told her. But shortly after that, and it wasn't because of what happened, but shortly after that I did leave anyway. Yeah.
And the other part of your strange experiences that you have, because you do have quite a few strange experiences, Carol, don't you, in your life? The dreams that you have that are sort of premonition.
Now, that did happen as a child a lot. That's funny you should say that did happen as a child. I would dream about a place and I know I'd never been there before. And then all of a sudden, maybe it could be months later, I'd go to this place and it would stop me dead in my tracks. And I'd think, I've seen this before and I've dreamt this place. I've been here before in a dream. So, yeah. And also, there was one time I was having a dream I was in my old house. And I'd come out of my house and I couldn't get out of my road, and I could see blue flashing lights, and I knew they were fire engines, but I couldn't get out of my road. So sometime after that, not long after that, I had to pick my daughter up it was Hockley Village, and it was a walk, but it was a long walk from the house, the village, and I'd come out of my house and it was a dead end turning. And I'd looked down the end and I could see these blue lights. And somebody had set their chip pan alight. It wasn't a serious fire. But I couldn't drive out of the road. So I had to run for all I was worth to go and pick my daughter up from the village, and I was late. Yeah.
And you dreamt that?
And I dreamt that.
So did you have that feeling of it broke your dream? You know that feeling where as you're walking towards something that's familiar, you remember that it was your dream, that you remember your dream? Or did you already remember your dream before you stepped out?
Well, I came out of my house, and as soon as I saw the blue lights, I thought, this is my dream. This is my dream. And I walked down the end of the road. It was a small cul-de-sac. and they said, no, you won't be able to drive out because of the fire engine. So I just had to leg it.
So how do you sort of explain that to yourself?
I just accept it. I mean, as a child, it used to stop me in my tracks. And then it's happened so much, I just think, oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
So when you have dreams that are really sort of pronounced or scary or meaningful, does it affect you differently now? Do you think, oh, hold on, I might have to pay attention to this?
Yeah, sometimes. And I'm quite good at explaining other people's dreams as well, because they're very cryptic. And I've my daughter again, she's had dreams before, and I've gone, oh, well, that is because, and she went, oh, you know, she goes, oh, I never thought of it like that. It's quite cryptic. They're not always, don't take them at face value, look a bit deeper.
So you're good at making the links?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Excellent. And I know there are some stranger things that you do, but I don't know if we want to talk about them on video. I'm not sure, you know.
Astral projection.
That's the one.
Yeah, astral projection. Yeah, my granddad used to do astral projection.
Go on.
And I seem to have inherited the ability through him. Now, this, I know, probably even people closest to me that I've talked to about this, they probably think I'm absolutely barking mad.
I don't think.
But research, I think anybody who's a doubter, research astral projection, because it's been going on for thousands of years. People have been able to astral project for thousands of years, and sometimes you can do it involuntarily, so you don't mean to leave your body. It is an out of a body experience, and it happens in a state where you are not quite fast asleep, but you're not awake either. Sometimes it can happen. In the early days, I used to try and make it happen, kind of relax and try and make it happen. And the big barrier to actually leaving the body is the vibrations, because nothing on earth can explain what that's like, and it's scary. If you don't understand it, you can be quite petrified by it, and that would block any you going any further. But I don't always get the vibrations now.
Is it like an awareness that is happening, and that brings about the fear, and then you stop yourself?
Yeah, because these vibrations are audible and physical as well. Your whole body is taken over, and you vibrate, and you can hear it. I've literally shot down the length of my body and left my body at my feet. I've come out. I know, to anybody who doesn't believe, they'll think I'm absolutely mad. But I've come out of my body and I've floated.
Yeah.
No, that's right. No, I've been there. Literally come out of my body. I've seen me in bed. I've floated above. Now this is weird, because I've floated above the wardrobe, and the wardrobe's only a few inches from the ceiling. So effectively, I've gone through the ceiling, and I can see the top of the wardrobe. You know, when people have come out of their body when they're on the operating table, and they're in the corner of the room, and they're looking down. It's kind of like that, you know. I was through the ceiling. I've literally come out of the window before now, and I can see the night sky. And I've looked across the Crouch, because I live near the River Crouch, not far. But the minute I've come through that glass, you don't feel yourself going through anything. The minute I've come through the glass, and it's been a cold winter's night, I'm not aware of any temperature. It'd be absolutely freezing if I've been out there, my real body, my earthly body, but you're not aware of any temperature. And I've got to just outside the window, and you kind of do get a bit scared, so I've come back in again. But involuntary ones, I've been all over the place. I mean, you can literally go, this is going to sound mad. I know it is. To a non-believer, it will sound mad. You can literally go to planets. You can go. I've seen things that I know. I don't know what planet I'm on. It sounds funny. I've literally seen things that I know are not on this planet. I've seen, Yeah, they're like multicoloured seas, absolutely beautiful seas and beaches and scenery that I know. And people who've had near-death experiences describe a lot of things that are similar to what I've seen. And I, when I've listened to people they've walked through these meadows, these beautiful, beautiful meadows in near-death experiences.
Space.
Yeah, and it's not earthly. It's so beautiful. It's not of this planet. It's not of this earth.
This dimension. Do you think it could be a spiritual dimension? Do you know what I mean?
know.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like another life, but it's not. You can't access it from this planet.
Another dimension. Yeah. Yeah. I know what I've experienced. Also, I'm with my daughter, my eldest daughter this time, and we're going up to, now people have said to me, I think that was a spirit you saw, not an angel. Who knows, but I know my daughter saw this, and my daughter at the time was a total non-believer, very sceptical. So we're going up to the hospital, Southend Hospital, to have my oldest grandchild's hip checked, right? Just after she was born. It was like the standard check they do for the baby's hips. And I've always got this thing where if I go somewhere and I know parking's going to be difficult, I always say, thank you, angels, for providing me with a parking space. I didn't on this occasion, because my daughter decides to go down you can't park there anymore, I think it's all permit holders, but she decides to go down the road right next to the hospital because she doesn't walk anywhere. Right, I thought to myself, when she can't park here, I'll tell her where I park, which is about a 5-minute walk away, and it's quite a pleasant walk. But something happened, and we've seen a car that's parked it's full up with people, and they're getting ready to go. You can tell they're getting ready to go. So we've stopped, and there's that car, and then there's another car behind that, and this tall, slim man in his 40s wearing a tank top like Frank Spencer used to wear. Some others do have a highly patterned
woolly.
I mean, you'd notice something like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He walked across in front of us, and he got into the car behind this other car with all these people in that was just about to pull out. So we're thinking, oh, now we've got 2 cars. This is good. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting. So we've pulled up next to the one where this man's just got in, which is behind the first one, because this first one was just pulling out. And as we pulled up next to this car, we've both looked. There's no man in it. And I've gone to Carly, where's he gone? And she's gone, I was just about to ask you the same thing. So she's parked, the other car's gone with, she's parked, and I've shot out of the passenger seat, and I've gone round to this car behind that I had clearly seen. Not only have I seen it, she's seen him get in as well. And I've tried the handle. We saw him get in. He's gone. A tall, slim man in his 40s, if he'd climbed over and got out of the passenger seat, he was so long and gangly, you know.
You'd have seen him walking away from the car. If he'd got out the other side, you'd have seen him walking away.
Yeah. So I've gone back to the boot where she's getting the buggy out for the baby, and I've gone, did we just... I didn't even finish. Did we just... She went, Mum, he got in the car. And we're talking about it all the way in the hospital, all the way up to in the lift, up the stairs, and we've got to where we're going. And that night, I woke up about 1 o'clock and I checked my phone, and she texted me. She said, Mum, she got up in the night with the baby. She said, Mum, I can't stop thinking about what we've seen. And I said, that's because I didn't ask the parking angel. And I thought it was an angel. But other people have said, no, that was a spirit you saw. But we both saw it.
Maybe someone coming out of the hospital, yeah.
Yeah.
And if only you knew, you probably have still got the date and the time of that because of the hip exam you had to go to. You could probably see if there were any deaths on that day and look that up, you know.
Could do.
Yeah, I know. It would be out there. Did you see him open the car door and get in?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Opened
He
the
was
car
inches
door.
away from us. Yeah. We actually saw him open the car door and get in. Yeah, both of us. If I'd have been on my own, I would have thought I'd gone
Imagined
mad.
it, yeah. You'd have thought, I've imagined that, yeah.
Yeah, and Carly, the total non-believer at the time,
is in
she
shock
saw
over
it.
it, and now she's a believer.
Yeah,
This is
she
it.
is now.
When
More
you
of a believer now.
When you have an experience like that, it changes your whole belief about what could be going on here, doesn't it?
Yeah. There was the time I told you the time I saw something in my bedroom, and this was absolutely beautiful. I was on a bit of a downer. I was having a bit of a tough time. So before I went to sleep that night, I had a word with my guardian angel, because I think we've all got something that looks after us, some spirit guide, guardian angel, call it what you like, God, universe, whatever. And I said to my guardian angel, please, if you're there, show yourself to me tonight. Anyway, I fell asleep. Woke up, and I live in a chalet bungalow, so the bedroom is kind of in the roof and sloped. There's a slope that side and there's a slope my side. And I've looked at this bit that slopes, and it's like the old cine cameras, that projected a white light, and this white light's projected onto this thing over my head, and on this white light is what I can only describe as this geometric shape angel, and it's multicoloured. You remember the old what do you call those things that used to kaleidoscopes? That's it. You look into them and there's all these pretty colours. Well, it was like that, twinkling above my head. And this
like
beautiful
a sort of prism, like a prism of light.
Yeah. And I've tried to research what I saw, and the nearest I can get to it is Archangel Metatron. The shape of the Metatron angels it was very similar. And not only have I seen this thing above my head, I've sat up. I'm not asleep. Believe you me, I'm not asleep. I've sat up in bed and I've looked at it, and there was a mirror wardrobe opposite. And not only can I see the shape, but I can see the reflection of the shape in the mirror. So I've seen it twice. So my husband's asleep next to me. I've wanted to wake him and say, "Here, can you see? Look at that." But then I didn't, because I thought by the time I wake him, I'll break the link will be broken. And but it did fade. Eventually it did fade, but it took a long time, wide awake. And then the following night.
Sorry, I interrupted you, and you said there was a beautiful. You was about to describe what it was like, and I interrupted you. You've forgotten. I said, "Go on." You're about to describe. There was a beautiful. You said as if there was something in the middle of it, or
no, it was just this beautiful geometric shape. This. It wasn't like an angel with the wings coming out the side. It was like a geometric kind of abstract angel. It was like, like if somebody had said, like, paint a picture of an abstract angel. This was what it was. It was the basic shape of an angel. And the following night, I remember waking up and looking up again, but I saw a very faded black and white version of it that didn't last, but something was still there. Yeah.
Oh, did it help you to feel better?
Really reassured.
Did it lift you and comfort you and help you to get through the next day and the next year and the next decade? Like, how long ago was that?
That was probably, I reckon, getting on for 10 years ago.
10 years.
And I've always wanted to see it again, and I never have. Never have. I'd love to see something like that again. Yeah.
So you sort of commanded, it was almost like from a place of desperation, like, "Oh, I'm feeling so low, and if you don't show me, then I'm going to give up all faith." Is that what it sort of felt like? Were you sort of like threatening the guardian angel that if they didn't show you, you were out of here or something?
I was just pleading rather than threatening. Pleading, please, give me some hope. Yeah.
So you wanted some hope. Yeah. So it was at that very lowest point, and the guardian angel came about.
But I do really, really believe there's something far greater than this earth, this planet. It's far, yeah.
Yeah, you've only got to look at how plants grow, haven't you, to recognise that there's an intelligence in living things, and look how intelligent we are compared to plants. Right? There's no way we're going to be here on our own getting through this without some spiritual backup. Surely not.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me as well. The synchronicity and the coincidence are like little nudges from the universe. You're going the right way, you're going the right way, or you're not going the right way. Just stop right there. Don't go.
And I think you've always got to trust your first instinct. If you go against your first instinct, you'll get it wrong.
And you pay the price. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol, it's been so lovely to speak with you. I'm so sorry that we had the hiccups at the beginning with the technology, but we made it eventually. And I'm so sorry that you can't see me, because you can't see me being really happy about what you're saying. I'm really loving the story. And I'm sure people are going to comment and ask questions. And if anyone's got any questions for Carol, just do feel free. You can contact me on Instagram directly at Tastastic Silver, and then I'll pass the messages on to Carol. So anybody out there that wants any more information or any views on your dreams, if anyone's got any dreams they'd like Carol to interpret, would that be okay, Carol? If people sent me their dreams and then would that be okay? Excellent. Dream interpreter Carol is available. It's lovely. Thanks ever so much for your time. Take care, Carol.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.